It's April 28th, 2025, and for this YouTube video, I wanted to just talk about how I became homeless and how I went from being homeless to a 20-year-old day trader. And listen, growing up, my parents got divorced at 2, and I was born in Jersey, born in the middle of nowhere. And then at 2, we ended up moving to Florida, and we moved into the middle of nowhere in Florida. It's called Spring Hills. It was a place like 15 minutes, small town, 15 minutes above Tampa Bay. And, you know, my parents would get divorced there, and they end up moving to different houses. And I remember I was there for about a year, and I just experienced some of the craziest shit. So many traumatic things, because my mom would be influenced with the worst type of people you could imagine. I would get sexually assaulted. I get sexually abused. I was surrounded by drugs, alcohol, abuse, the worst things that you could imagine. And it only got worse from there. So my mom, she ended up kidnapping us, my brother and I, to Florida, from Florida to Cali, and we drove there. And at the time, I didn't know any better, but when we got to Cali, we moved there because weed was legal there at the time. And when we moved, I didn't even know the worst was just becoming. When we get there was no housing. We were homeless for about a year and a half, just surrounded by druggies, just going through the worst shit. Every day was like an adventure, but it was like a effed up adventure, a messed up adventure. And for me, at a young age, a very young age, it taught me and made me realize what it's like to have nothing, what it's like to not be able to find your next meal, what it's like to not know if you're gonna live the next day. Like, I honestly did not know if I was going to live every single day. Why? Because I'm surrounded by the craziest people. I would be surrounded by people that abuse me physically, sexually, mentally. And yeah, like, every day was so traumatic that it became normalized, right? So at a very young age, I had to adapt and become more mature very quickly. And when I was around 7 years old, that's when the IRS found out about my brother and I, our living situation. And I ended up, getting picked up by my angel saving grace, my grandmother. And that's because if she didn't pick us up, the government was going to put us into foster care, and my grandmother didn't want that, so she ended up deciding to pick us up. And yeah, that changed our life forever. I'm forever grateful for her, and she's my angel. She's my blessing. I'll love her till the day I die. And it gets me a little bit emotional, because like, I just love her so much. I'm so grateful for her. Like, seriously, I'm so grateful for her. But yeah, so just understanding all these things, right? What it's like to have nothing, what it's like to sacrifice. And, you know, like, I'm 5 years old running, 6 years old running around, 7 years old running around San Francisco, Chinatown, right? Trying to find food for my family every single day. And it's like, that's not how a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old should be living for that long. It's not. Ever. Should never put your kids in that situation. So, when I moved here, you know, I had a pretty normal childhood, but, you know, like, again, I was just different than everyone. Like, I honestly want to time-lapse this now, so we go from 8 years old to about the end of high school, right? Um, when I was in high school, like everyone would just party and tell me, oh, this is how you have fun, this is how you do this, how you do that. And for me, I was very upset as a kid. Like I was very not traumatized because I was used to it. But I would see all these kids having fun, doing drugs, alcohol, weed, all this stuff, and they would tell me, oh, like this is fun, like this is how you have fun, this is how you party and all this stuff. And whenever I would do it, bro, I just never felt good doing it. Like while I did it and even after, the weed got me in a chokehold for a while. And like I don't mind weed. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But again, still, like even at the time, I would do it, right? And after, I felt terrible. Like I honestly felt terrible. Like I felt like I never fit in. Always. Like I learned, like growing up, I never fit in with anyone besides a couple friends and like a couple friend groups back in the day. But it's like overall, like when I started to get older and have my own ideas and opinions, like I just never fit in because I knew this is not what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be successful. I craved it in my blood to be successful, to work hard, to build a future for myself, because I knew if I would continue doing the drugs, I was going to end up the same way as my parents. And these people, the other kids, they've never experienced what it's like to have nothing. They've never experienced what it's like to not have parents. They've never experienced what it's like for their parents, and some may do, but to the extent that I had to go through, nobody there, like here, experienced what it's like to lose their parents to drugs. Like nobody, to the extent, right? So it was very for me, it was very eye-opening. I'm like, this is not what I want to do with my life. I want to become better. So my first girlfriend at the time, like I hope she's doing well, but again, she's old. Um, but yeah, she's doing well. And at this time when we ended up breaking up, this was when I was in college. I was 18, and my brother put me on to trading. He's like, look at this, bro. I have $2,000 in my account. I'm like, what? Like, bro, I had like $200 to my name, maybe, I think, at the time. And I was broke. I was skinny, broke, like pretty much like started from ground zero. Like, like you have all the base attributes. That's what I had, and it's just I remember I didn't know anything about the stock market, but I was willing to learn. Why? Because I knew if my brother had $2,000 in his account and he's a year older than me, I was like, I could do the same thing. I could get there, right? And I want to know how he's making money like that. Because I know if I can build the skill, if I can find something that can make me a high income, then I'll be good. And that's what I did. I put my head down. I worked. He put me on to Ricky Gutierrez, who I wouldn't say is the biggest fan of as a personal guy. Like yes, but for his content, not much anymore. Um, but yeah, like I followed him, and this time during college, I just went all in. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna focus on trading. I didn't really go all in until the fall, but during the summer, I was in the EOF program for Monmouth, and yeah, I love all those guys and girls at the program. Like, I miss all of them. Glad they're doing good, and I wish I still talked to them today, but I'm glad to see them doing well. And again, during the summer, I really made it known to build myself, build connections, and get more confident with myself, get in the gym, grow my physique. And by this point, in the fall, I reverted back to my old self. I would party, drugs, alcohol, weed, and I went through one of the toughest experiences of my life. I had insomnia for a month. I couldn't sleep for a month straight. And I started losing myself. I started going crazy. I was about to kill my roommate. And it was a big wake-up call for me. It really took me out of my body and made me wake up and lock in, and that's when I went all in on trading. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna transfer and I'm gonna focus on trading. And then that's when I met the love of my life, and we're not together anymore, but I hope she's doing well. And you know, because I reverted back to my old ways again, which that's like the theme for me, is like I'll lock in right for 3-4 months and then I'll revert back. But the trading was always there. I've always had the trading before the girl, and I've always put it above everyone, pretty much. So yeah, now, right, I scaled for the last 2 years. I scaled my account from $0 to 30,000. And like, yeah, I've had huge losses. I started down 5K when I first started, but guess what I did? I never gave up, never. And I realized if you don't give up with the market, with trading, you literally cannot lose. You can't. If you really fully commit and never give up, you cannot lose. So that's what I did. And yeah, now I'm here, and I'm so thankful, grateful, and blessed by God to be able to be where I am now, you know. But if I gave up, I would never be here, right? I would never know. So that's why I say it's important to understand that you have so much time, right? You have so much time. Don't just give up just because it gets tough. If anything, when life gets tough, double down. Double down. Work twice as hard. Take a step back. Breathe. But work twice as hard. Just listen. No birds. It's quiet. It's awesome. I love it. It's my favorite. I'm gonna keep waking up at this time. And yeah, if you enjoyed the little breakdown, if you enjoy this style of content, just drop a comment, let me know. I just wanted to bring my backstory today just because I had the intuition by God to just tell my story and put it on here so everyone knows. It wasn't the best. I could have worded it a little bit better. But yeah, we move on. I'll probably make a video again explaining it in the future in a more concise way. So, but yeah, if you're interested in learning how to trade, join my Discord. It's free right now, and you get to, when I start trading live, that's when I'm going to make it private, and you're going to have to pay. But for right now, I just give my trade ideas, so I give real-time updates on my trades, and any thoughts, opinions, and anyone can discuss in my chats, my channels. So I'm excited to keep working hard, keep providing for God, and keep trying to change lives. So, all right, I love you, God loves you, and peace.